Buying a home is not just one emotion, it is seven. Seven emotions all wrapped up into one, whether you're excited and scared and terrified and just thrilled, all wrapped up with a pretty little bow on it. If you're not doing buying a house this way, you're doing it wrong. Let me walk you through the process of buying a home and every process that every buyer goes through. I see it day in and day out. My name is Kyle Powers with Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, your local real estate expert here in the Manhattan, Kansas area. You guys, I have seen this every single day, every single week, every single month, day in, day out, and it works every single time. And it works, and it goes through the entire process of buying a house. You start out from phase one where you're in your Googling phase and you're starting to do everything and work through 7 phases of actually buying a house. And I'm gonna go over every one of those phases today. Phase one is learning the process, right? This is what I call the Googling phase. And when you go through and do this, you're looking online, you're watching videos, you're asking friends and family like, oh, what did you think? How was the process? Kind of going through all of it. You're trying to understand loans, understand your down payments, and understand the timing of everything. It all just feels overwhelming. And honestly, I'll tell you this, a lot of times people don't even know that they're house hunting yet, right? Next thing you know, you're staying up and scrolling on Zillow, looking through everything until 11, 12 o'clock at night, trying to find the right house for you and your family. You don't know if you're ready to move. You just know that something doesn't feel right. That's phase one of the process. And you guys, I will tell you, this happens all the time. And everybody spends a different amount of time in each phase, but this one happens immediately. And it's always like, oh, let's check realtor.com. And they start going through and looking at houses and what do I want? Do I want bedroom count? What do I want for bathroom count? Do I want land? Do I want something in town? What does that look like? So that is phase one, the learning process. Phase two, at this point, you've gone through, you've done your pre-approval, you're talking to real estate agents, and you're actually looking at houses, right? This is the exciting part. This is the part everybody loves. We go through, we start looking at houses, you start saying, oh, well, I've got this Zillow saved search. I've got this saved search. I'm really interested in these 5 houses. Let's go look at these. And do I like this? Do I want this? There's just a million different things that happen with that. And I think that's when you're doing your weekend showings and you're getting in and saying like, oh, I could totally live here in this house. I could see my kids playing in this yard. I could see putting in a pool here. I could add a shop here. Whatever it is, you start saying, I can live in this home, right? But then something happens, right? You go into it and you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't, or is there something else out there? And then we lose it, right? It goes under contract or someone else snags it before you do. This is when you fall in love with the possibilities of living in that particular home or whatever that may be. But that is phase two, and that is the excitement of looking at houses. Phase three is defeat. And I know everyone's like, oh, what are you talking about defeat? You're looking to buy houses. This is fun. Yeah, it is fun if everything goes perfectly, but I'm here to tell you not everything goes perfectly. Phase three is defeat. This is losing out on offers, losing out on houses, going in and prices are way higher than you ever expected. Payments are higher than you expected. Taxes are higher than you expected. So you don't really know, but it's saying, you start asking the question to yourself, are we doing this wrong? Is there something else that needs to be done? Are interest rates, are they correct? Are they feel like there's so many things that go through it. And I'm telling you, this is the phase that you need to be able to push through because what I find, and I literally am going through it with my own wife right now. She is at this defeat stage. We've lost a couple offers. We've lost a couple auctions. We've lost a couple things that we haven't really done. She's like, oh my gosh, we're never going to find anything. We have months, by the way, before we move, but hey, this is what it is. So she's in this phase, right? She's in this defeat stage of, okay, are we ever going to find anything? Is the right house going to come up? And It happens to every single buyer. I'm not saying every house is going to be perfect, but I will tell you these phases, every buyer happens to go through these. This is the phase that doesn't mean stop. It just means that we need to actually make an adjustment, right? What are we looking for? What are my non-negotiables? What am I like, oh, okay, I can maybe make this work. What does that look like? We adjust, we persevere, and we make sure we get through that phase, because once you get through this phase, There's a couple other roadblocks that we might hit, but there's a lot of things that come out of the good out of the back end of it. Which brings me to phase 4, and that is reluctant acceptance. And I'm not saying that you've settled on a house or anything that way, but this is what I'm talking about with, this is one of the hardest shifts, right? These are the hardest mindset shifts to be like, I can't buy the perfect house and, the perfect acreage and because it's $500,000 above my budget, right? So being able to understand like, okay, well, let's lower my expectations a little bit, understand a little bit what that is. We get realistic with budget versus wants. We get realistic with understanding what our trade-offs are. We understand, do we want a pool with an in-ground pool with a 20 acres to it, or do we need that, right? Like, I think there's two differences that you'll have the ability to look at. But if you kind of go at this and understand, this is where smart buys and smart buyers are actually made, and understanding like, okay, is this house pretty close to perfect, and can we make some small changes and make it perfect, or is it completely off track, or do I not even want acreage and I want to be in the middle of town? And I think all of that stuff is really relevant to understanding what that is and letting go of that perfect house, being able to understand what it is that isn't necessarily perfect for you now, but can be perfect for you later if you do some small changes to it. Phase 5, we've gotten over that hump. You've gotten through that one, and lo and behold, the perfect house pumps up, right? And maybe again, it's not perfect, but the new perfect house has popped up. And this is excitement for being under contract, right? This one's fun, right? This one feels like a win. After all of that, we've looked at houses, we've looked at everything, and you've gone through all of that drudgery and the mud, if you will, of going through and not finding a house. Then boom, you found one, you're under contract, you won, right? You feel like you just on top of the world. You beat out all the other offers, you beat out all that stuff. So there's tons and tons of excitement with that. Offer gets accepted, you're texting family and friends, and that we did it moment, right? Like, we finally found something, and that deal of it. Relief mixed with adrenaline. This is the moment of actually huge win for you, right? Especially, again, I will tell you that this is a moment that you need to celebrate. I need to celebrate because we're still not through all of it yet, but this is the moment to celebrate, because in my mind, this is a big win, right? And then we then are able to go into the educated moments of inspections and things like that. Phase 6 is the inspection scare. You guys, this one is probably one of my favorites. And I know I'm saying it's a scare because it is a scare, right? Like, you found the quote unquote house for you. And then all of a sudden you find water damage. You find cracking in the foundation. You find roots in the sewer line, you find radon, you find failed fireplace, termites. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Again, in my house, when we bought our house, I literally found sewer line was 80% blocked. We had termites in our house, had radon, it had fireplace had failed, and then there's a couple other things that were needing to be done on the house. But instead of getting scared with that, what I was actually able to do is not shoving my head in a hole and understanding that we have the ability now to negotiate with that. So I want to make sure that the inspection scare is a fun time, but it does make you second guess yourself, and it will 100% of the time. But I want to tell you too, like, we hire these inspectors to find out what's wrong with the house. Right? That's why we are hiring these inspectors. So you're going to get a 60 page document saying, hey, this is wrong with your home. That's what we want. I'm telling you, don't Google it. That always makes it worse. If you Google crack in foundation, you're going to get red flags up and down the walls. But if you look at actual people looking at it and saying, well, that's a hairline fracture, not really a big deal, or hey, you can fit your whole fist through this crack, you probably need to pay attention to it. Those are things to pay attention to. You talk about fear of making a mistake or buying a lemon or whatever that is, but again, these are the things that start to pop up. Inspections are, again, all about information, not perfection. You are never going to find a perfect house. I will sit here and 100 times out of 100 times, I will tell you, even if you buy a brand new house, you are going to have things that come up in inspections. I've seen it. I've done it. I have clients who have bought a brand new house and have things that come up with an inspection. But what we're doing with these inspections is, can you live with whatever those potential things are? That's what it is. Phase 7. This is the closing excitement. Guys, we've gotten through all of it. You're right. You've gone through all of the ups, the downs, the valleys, the peaks, all of that kind of stuff. And you're getting to the closing table. This one's the most exciting part of it. And this one sneaks up on you because you're going through all of this stuff. And then boom, all of a sudden it's closing day. And it's like, oh crap. Okay, well now we own a house. This is where you get the packing boxes out. You've got the final walkthrough. You're getting keys to the house. You're actually moving in. And so all of these things that you've gone through for the last 30 to 60 to 90 to some people a year, if you start your process looking at houses early, but they're going through all of that. You've got the pride of owning a home and the relief of getting through all of that I just talked about. But that's the beauty of it, right? I think going in and understanding that you get this particular home for you, for your family, and you have the ability to really kind of relax a little bit and start to move your things in and make this house your home. And I think that's the cool part, right? This is when it stops being about a transaction and you get to start your new chapter of being in your home. You guys, I have gone through this over and over and over and over again, and I see it so many times where we go through you start on the roller coaster up high and you're like, this is amazing. I'm so excited. We got pre-approved. I'm ready to go. We dip down we start looking at houses. Well, this isn't what I expected for $300,000. I expected X or 500 or 200 or whatever the number is. Then you start looking at those and you're like, well, crap, I want this house for this one. And then we get into that defeat moment where we've offered on a couple, they don't come through. And you're sitting there, you're like, what am I going to do? I need to buy a house. I need to have this. I need to have this. And 100 times, you guys, or 10 times out of 10, I promise you that if you are meant to buy a house, it happens. And we get you the right house. I have tried to tell people that over and over again, and it does always work out. And I want to say that everything happens for a reason and everything happens at the right time. And I think that's a really important thing to understand because we get so caught up into wanting it now, wanting it quick, wanting it there, and we don't get patient for things. And I think that that's the beauty of it. So if you can get through these ups and downs and these valleys and things that way, you are going to be able to get there and just be prepared for these phases. It's a fun time to buy a house, and it's a fun opportunity for you and your family to be able to kind of do these things and get into just being homeowners, right? We literally last night, my wife and I ripped out a shower. Yes, we're getting ready to move as well, but we ripped out a shower. We were really kind of diving into stuff, and it's just every house has a story, and it's so cool. And I think that's just a really neat thing about a house. But anyway, sorry, I digress. And I want to tell you guys, get excited about buying a house. Get excited about this stuff because it is a fantastic opportunity. So if you have any questions about buying, selling, investing, or just anything real estate related, please reach out. I want to help. I want to get you taken care of. My personal cell phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. As always, you guys, if you have any questions or you need anything, please let me know. I would love to take care of you. I'd love to get you, help you out with buying a home, selling a home, whatever that looks like. And then as always, share this video with somebody that might be interested in just kind of understanding the process of buying. And I would love to hear it in the comments. This is a big one for me, is what stage of the process are you in, right? And if I missed this stage, I would love to have you put it in the comments below just to kind of help me out understand, because these are the stages I see every single day. Maybe there's more, maybe there's less, but I think that they happen in those stages can be a year long, or they can be condensed into a lot of emotions all in 30 days, because that happens too. But yeah, so that's the beauty of it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, if you do like this content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content. And please share this video with somebody that might be interested in understanding the stages of buying a house. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.